Okay, the supplies that we're going to need for this week's project, we are making these cute little Easter cards, and I have done them with the Cricut Joy Xtra and the Cricut Joy. So we're going to be using, you need the light grip mat and a standard grip mat, or if you just want to use just a standard grip mat that doesn't have a whole lot of stick, you can do that. But the mats are different depending on which machine you're using. We have the EasyPress Mini, heat resistant pad. I have a small Teflon, it's a Teflon sheet I just cut down to fit our project better. Heat transfer vinyl. Like I said, whether you're going to use the Cricut Joy Xtra or the Cricut Joy, this will work in any of the Cricut machines. I'm just going to show you how to modify it so you can use it in those machines without having to use a scoring tool. We have the color of cardstock that you want. I have just a couple of different colors, and then I found some really cute Easter pattern at 12 by 12 cardstock. I've got Barely Art Precision craft glue. You need your pen to write on the Happy Easter. This is the pen that came with my Cricut Joy and my Cricut Joy Xtra. They are the same pen, so you can use it with either machine. Some of your weeding tools, and then I have like a little bone folder to help fold it in half. And then we have, I'm using foam tape, and then I also have foam squares. These right here, I don't know if you can see, these are the tiny mini ones. This one I used with the smaller from the Cricut Joy because I had to size the card down smaller so that it would fit. But then you can also just use your regular square foam dots. If you have those, you can cut them down to size. But I think that's it. Oh, and you need a brayer. Make sure you have your brayer. That's important for keeping your cardstock on your cutting mats. But that's it. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make these adorable little Easter cards. Okay, so here we are in Design Space. This is how your card is going to land on your canvas. If you need help adding your card to your canvas by downloading it and bringing it into Design Space, you can check out one of the other videos that I have. Pretty much every video I have that just shows the free SVG for the week shows you how to add it to your Design Space canvas, so I'm not going to go through it here. But this is how it's going to land. Your size is 10 by 7. This, I don't know why it added on that little extra there, but it is a size to a 10 by 7 card. So first thing we need to do, if you're going to make this with any of your machines that is not the Cricut Joy or the Cricut Joy Xtra, you can leave it exactly the way it is. You would just need to ungroup this and then come down here, which is the card, and this line right here, which is going to be your score line. So you would want to grab this here, come up to here, and I got to change my machine first or it won't let me do it. Let's say I'm going to use my maker. Okay, so then we would come up here and turn it into a score line, and then just click on that and click attach. And then that card is all ready to go to use the scoring stylus or your scoring wheel, whatever you have. But since we are using the Cricut Joy and the Cricut Joy Xtra, that feature is not available. So it's telling you that right here, that it's not supported by that, and that is why. So what we're going to do is we're going to detach this, and then I'm going to come through here, and I am actually just going to, first I'm going to hide it. I tried with my, I always do a test cut first to see how it's going to go, and for whatever reason, it would not, it kept telling me things weren't supported. It kept kicking me out. I don't know if it's a glitch in Design Space or what's going on, but when I finally got rid of that hidden line right there, it let me work through the whole process. So if we need to come back and delete it, or if you're having that error issue, try and get rid of that little thing right there that's hidden. Okay, so anyway, this is the size card that we're going to make for the Cricut Joy Xtra. When we get to the Cricut Joy, we're going to make it smaller, but I'm going to show you how to do this one first. So we're going to add Happy Easter to this, and I'm going to make this a writing font. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to go to my text box, and I'm going to type in, I believe I did all caps for this one. You can do both. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here. These are my fonts, and I want to look for a writing font. So I'm going to look for a free one in Cricut Design Space. So if you don't have Cricut Access, you can do this with the free fonts. So click on this up here. We're going to click on Writing, and we're going to click on Free. And then we're going to scroll through here and find one that we like. And I believe with the first one that I did, I'm trying to remember, I don't think they were free. So let's scroll through here and see how it looks. when you click on it, it will change your text right here. So this would be a good one. You can do all caps or you could do lower. Let me bring this in a little bit closer here. And this is Little White Lies. So let me go ahead and get rid of that second one there. And then you would just size this because it's going to be written on that white part. So you would just size this on there. I'm going to ungroup this. Move that out of the way here. I'm going to highlight both of them. I want to come to align and I want to center it. Okay, so this right now, well, this one already says a pen cut, but sometimes when you bring a font in, it will say basic cut, but this one's already set to pen, so you don't have to do anything with that. Grab both of these, come down here, and you want to attach it. If you don't attach it, it won't write on the paper. Okay, and then for everything else, it's pretty much already ready to go. The only thing else you would have to change is the color of the little tooth right here. I left it gray so that you could see it in the design, but it actually is going to be cut out of white. So you can come up to your color sync and drag it down into the white if you want to. You can just drag it right here so you know that that's going to be white. Or you could click on it and change it up in your color bar. So either way works. So whatever colors that you want to cut this out of, this is going to be, this size right here is going to be for your Cricut Joy Xtra. And I will show you. Let's go ahead and save this first. Easter Card Joy Xtra. Okay, so now when you go to make this, you click on your Make button, make sure your machine is selected, the right one, and we are going to go through and we are going to check all our mats here. If you've been with me for a while, you know I like to move elements around, so instead of cutting all my different colors on different mats, I like to move them to one mat, and I'll show you how to do that if you've never done it before. So we're going to go through. This is actually going to be cut out of HTV, so I'm going to move this. Move object, I'm going to come down here and put it on my black mat. Okay, these are going to be cut out of HTV, so I need to make sure that I come to this mat and I want to mirror this. Okay, so now we know that it has been flipped, so this is going to be cut out of HTV, but everything else is going to be cut out of cardstock. And I am, like I said, going to move some of these elements to different mats. And like you just saw how I did it right there, all you need to do is when you make sure that you have your mat, you get your, this is going to be on a light grip mat. This part right here is going to be white cardstock. And then whatever color else that you're going to do, move object. And this is going to be whatever color you decide to do for, this is going to be the flower in the bunny's hair and also the backing of this part right here. So you would, if you're going to do orange, you would make sure that you put a piece of orange cardstock right here and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go through and move things around and then I'll show you how to get them all together and get them cut. Okay, so after you have everything moved, we're going to click continue. Then we're going to choose the cardstock. We're going to be using medium cardstock setting. I'm going to click on there, but if you pay attention, you need to make sure that you look, it's going to write first. So it's telling you coming up is the fine point blade, but for the first mat that's going out, because of that pen that's on there, the Happy Easter, you need to have your pen loaded in first for the first part of our cutting process. So I'm going to go ahead and load my pen in and we'll get that done. We'll get that part cut out. Okay, so I have all of my cardstock on my mat. I'm going to go ahead and use my brayer to push it all down. And we're going to do the pen first. So like I said, we need to change out pull out your the whole unit that has the needle in it. And this is your pen. You want to take your pen off and then we're just going to stick it in and lock it in there. We're going to go ahead and load this. Make sure the back, you have enough room. So with your Joy Xtra, it just read everything on your mat. So now I have to go back to my computer and hit go so that it will write and then cut everything out. And after it's done writing, it will pause so that you can switch it out and put the blade back in. Okay, now it's paused, so we're going to go ahead and take out your pen and put the blade back in. And then I'm going to go back to my machine and hit go so that it cuts out the rest of the cardstock. Okay, our first part is cut, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and remove my cardstock from my mat. This helps with curling. I have some little pieces here. You might want to get like a little bowl to stick those in so they don't get lost. I know I always find myself searching for my little pieces. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of the stuff cut. Okay, then we have all our materials cut. Go ahead and take off our HTV. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on my EasyPress Mini. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And we're going to go ahead and push it once. And while that's warming up, we'll weed our vinyl and get everything else ready. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I want to fold my card. And because we didn't use a scoring wheel or a stylus, we're just going to use this little bone folder. And I like to do both sides. Okay, so this is going to be the inside of the card. Set that aside, and we're going to go ahead and assemble our little bunny here. Okay, so what I'm going to do for the ears, I just like to lay it out to make sure I have it the right way here. I also like to keep a picture up or my screen or my phone to see, make sure I have it the right way, but since I already have one that I made, I can look and see to make sure that it is lined up correctly. So I'm going to flip these over, and I'm going to use foam tape for the back of my ears here. You can use the dots if you want to. You could just glue it on if you want to, but I'm going to give it just a little bit of dimension by putting on this foam tape. If you want to put a little bit of glue in the back, you can. I just do this so sometimes if I need to reposition, this will give me a little bit extra time to reposition them correctly. Don't need a lot, just little dots. Okay, so we have the ears on. And now I like to go ahead and do the face. So bring this over here. And we're going to go ahead and line up our face here. And you want to put your Teflon sheet on top of that. And just maybe 10-15 seconds. You don't really need that long. Just continuous motion. And then pull it back slow to make sure that it's stuck. Okay, so it needs a little bit longer. There you go. And we'll go ahead and put the cheeks on. Alright, and you can turn off your EasyPress. Okay, and then we're going to put our nose on. And for your nose, you can use a foam dot, you can use tape, whatever makes you happy. I'm going to do a square right on the back. And again, I'm going to hit it with just a little dot of glue. And I'm going to put his tooth on, and I'm going to do the same thing with that. I'm going to put just a little, one of the dots on. Let's see if it's the correct size. Yeah, that'll fit. Okay, it's right on the back there. Okay, that part's done. And then for the front of the card, let's go ahead and put this on first. Well, we've got to put his little bow on. We forgot about the bow. Okay, I'm just going to glue a little dot in there. This glue dries clear, so if it squishes out a little bit, it's okay. And I'm going to use one of my square dots on this as well. And I'm going to put it right down here. Instead of putting it on the back of the flower, I'm going to put it right on the bunny itself. Now let's get our card here. You can put your bunny wherever you like. I just like to try and line it up first, so before I close it I can see that it's going to be peeking out the right way. Okay, I think it looks good right there. And I'm just going to do glue on the back of it. And again, this gives me a little bit of wiggle room so that if I need to move it, I'm not going to push it down all the way just yet. Okay. There you go. And then for the front, I'm just going to put this down. I'm going to glue this down first. This card is really easy to put together, super simple, and I like the mini version even better with the Cricut Joy. I was afraid it was going to be too small, but it turned out really cute. And I'm going to do tape on the back of this one. And again, you can do whatever colors you like. You can personalize it if you don't want to do Happy Easter. You could do a name on here, even make it bigger and write a different little note on it if you wanted to. And again, I'm going to do the glue. And there you go. Quick little Easter card. I just think it's so cute. I'm going to go ahead and do one with the Cricut Joy. I'm going to show you how to set that up in Design Space, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here we are back in Design Space, and I brought the same card in for the Cricut Joy. What we need to do is we need to reduce it. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to go and put Cricut Joy on here. And again, it's going to tell me that this is not supported. One, because it's too big, and also because we don't have a scoring stylus for this one. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it all grouped. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to do 4.25. I have kept that locked so that it would, oops, if I have it all together, let's make sure that it's all grouped. 4.25. Okay. Now this is the size that you can use for your Cricut Joy Xtra. Your Cricut Joy. Let's bring this closer. I'm going to ungroup this just like we did with the first one, and I'm going to get rid of this score line right here. So I'm going to hide it, and hopefully it doesn't give me an error message. But then we're going to do the same thing like we did before. I'm going to go ahead and write Happy Easter. And for this one, I'm going to try the same thing over here. Let's do Rubber Ducky, I think it's called. Okay, we're going to shrink that down. And I'm doing this one in a green. Not that it matters, you don't really have to change your color, but just so I remember what color it is, I'm going to do this in green. And then this, I'm going to ungroup that, and my back color I'm going to do a darker green. You want to make sure that you shrink this down, and I want this to fit a little bit better, so I'm going to unlock my text, and I'm just going to stretch it a little. Okay, so grab both, align and center, and then we want to come down and attach it so that it writes on there. And I am not doing a flower for this one, so I can hide both of those And I want to change my tooth to white. Okay, but that's all you have to do for this one. We're going to go ahead and get this cut out. I will show you. I need to hide that again. I don't know why it came back. There we go. Okay, so let's save this. Easter Joy. Always want to make sure you save, just in case Design Space wants to give you an error and then you lose everything. Okay, so for this one, when I first was testing this, I didn't have my card small enough, so when I would click on this, this was grayed out. There was nothing for me to choose here. So if you have an error that's not letting you choose, it could be that your size is too big. So the mat that I'm using is 4.5 by 12, and I'm using it on a mat. Confirm. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to go through and I'm going to move different elements to one mat. This one is going to be HGV, so I need to make sure that I mirror this. And the cheeks are also going to go on the black, so I'm going to move this object over here. And I just need to remember where they're going to be when I put my materials on there. We are going to cut this one first. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get it set up. Okay, again, we're going to pick the light cardstock, and remember that you have to have your pen in first. So we're going to do the pen first, and then we'll get everything else cut out. Okay, just like before, we're going to take the whole housing out and stick your pen in, and then lock that in. Use your brayer to put your materials on your mat well, and then feed that in. It read the mat, and now we're going to go push go, so it'll go ahead and start. Okay, it's going to take a pause. Take out the pen, put the blade back in, and then go back to your machine again and hit go. We want to unload our mat just like before. I'm always amazed at how well this machine cuts these little pieces, and they cut so well. Alright, move that out of the way. And just like before, we're going to assemble it exactly like we did with the first card. Okay, turn on our EasyPress again. This is the one that I made earlier, so just to help me with placement here. Make sure I got it the right way. Get his face on here. For his nose, I'm going to use one of the mini dots. These ones are just a little bit too big, so I'm going to use one of my little mini dots here. And a little dot of glue. And now that little bitty tooth. Let me see if that mini dot will fit on here. Yeah, a little bit too big, so I think I'm just going to do a little piece of tape with some glue. Turn it over. There you go. And like before, if the glue seeps out, it's okay because it's going to dry clear, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. And for the card, go ahead and fold that over. And get them lined up to what looks good for you. This one, I think I had them actually up a little bit instead of hitting the actual bottom. No, just a little bit. There we go. And push it down. And some tape on here. And there you go. Cute little Easter card. I think these turned out so cute. What do you guys think? You could do them in the solid colors. You could do them in the pattern colors. However you like. But there you go for this week's project, guys. You can find the free SVG in my freebie library. It is design number 192. And I will also leave some links for some different writing fonts if you guys want to try those. But that's it, guys. If you like this week's project, guys, let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up. Come on over to the Facebook group and show it off, because you know I love seeing what you guys make. And while you're in Design Space, if you want to give my Design Space profile a follow. I'm also a Cricut contributing artist, so sometimes there's designs in there that you can find. If you guys want to go ahead and give that a follow, you can too. There's a link below in the description. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you.